looking to throw it, and he got the touchdown! Here's Brady's pass. It's Gronkowski! Oh, Max strips it! He is unbelievable!
We are in the month of December, and which means some cold weather, some snow. You get some good football games. Unless you're in a dome, then it doesn't matter where you're at.
Exactly.
This is the Tabor Gridiron podcast. I'm Steven here with Isaac. Week 13 of football is over. And I have to say, Isaac, my favorite game so far for the Week 13 was the Monday night game with the Patriots and the Bills. It was cold, a little bit of snow flurries. It was a little like blizzard-ish. The winds were just crazy, like 50 to 55 mile an hour gusts, and low scoring.
Very
what
low
a
scoring
fun game.
That's true, though.
You see those low scorings, you're just like, it's the Jets and the Giants, 3-3 or whatever, and 6-3. It's boring. This was just like a fun football game of just grinding it out, defenses, running game, not a lot of throwing. It was fun to see who was going to come out on top, who was going to overcome the wind. And it really was that extra element in a game. You had to pay attention to the wind, what direction you were going, what quarter you were going to get to go, with the wind rather than against the wind. It's kind of a chess match with the players, the coaches. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, I thought it was very cool, especially with like a lot of these stadiums more converting to domes. So external weather doesn't really matter that much. But now I like these like old-fashioned football games where the weather really does play a huge part, and it kind of adds a whole nother layer of complexity and adds a whole nother challenge, which makes the teams have to work twice as hard. Whereas in a dome, you don't really have to worry about anything. You're going to have good fields if it's spring or fall or summer or winter, whatever.
And the players have to play differently.
Exactly.
They really had to think about how are they going to kick the ball? Are they going for 2-point conversions? Are they going for field goals? Are they going to be able to kick a field goal? Are they going to be able to kick an extra point? Is the quarterback going to be able to throw it against the wind? That being said, Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills was fantastic. Things were different. Yes, you're not as accurate. You're not throwing as much. But he was throwing some passes into the wind that were pretty impressive. The arm strength, how he was turning his arm a little bit, lowering his elbow to get more grip on the ball. There was some just beautiful passes that he was doing. Then you got Mac Jones on the other side. I was actually excited to watch him. I wanted to really dive into this rookie quarterback and be able to watch him. He threw 3 passes the entire game. But yet the Patriots still won. And it was still a pretty epic game, and he did really well. He managed the game. He did what he was supposed to do. Bill Belichick had a game plan. We are just going to play some smash mouth football. The wind is so bad, we are just going to run it. We got 3 running backs we're going to rotate with, and the Patriots just came in and manhandled the Bills and ran all over them, and Mac Jones did his job. That being said then, Bill Belichick is a pretty epic coach.
He is a very epic coach, and you can clearly tell he's been in football for a while, so he has probably the most experience out of any coach. I'd say it's him or Andy Reid, and he definitely has a lot of like football know-how and what he knows to do. And the other thing that I was impressed with him is a lot of these rookie quarterbacks are often interviewed, and they're like, "Oh, what are you going to do?" And that often affects the quarterback. But he's pretty much like kind of keeping Mac Jones away from everything. And if you watch the Peyton and Eli, where they commentate Monday Night Football, Peyton actually commented that he was trying to talk to Mac Jones, but he just got rejected by Bill Belichick because he didn't want any distractions. And I mean, I don't know what I would say about that, because I mean, you're rejecting a Hall of Fame quarterback to talking to your rookie quarterback. And I get that Bill Belichick has his own playing style, and clearly it's working. So, I mean, I don't blame him for that, because they're 9-4, and they're doing really well with their way. And I mean, if you want to keep, he's kind of a my way or the highway kind of person. But that in this case, that's a good thing because their team's doing good, and if that's what's going to make them have the wins, then go for it.
I mean, yeah, we can get into, the personality of Bill Belichick or how he conducts himself with things, whether you like it or not. We'll skip all that. He is an epic football coach. He loves football. He knows football. He knows how to win games. He knows how to put players in positions, and he knows what he wants his team to look like. And I applaud that, and it's fun to watch a new group of guys, to watch a rookie quarterback. Tom Brady, again, is an elite quarterback, has amazing skill, but you can really see how much of that Patriots dynasty really was Bill Belichick, the fact that he is kind of recreating that again. Now, if you're a Patriots fan, you're loving it. If you're not a Patriots fan, you're sitting here going, oh man, I thought the Patriots were done with. I'm sick of seeing the Patriots at the playoffs, winning Super Bowls. I don't know. We might be seeing the Patriots for a while more. Doesn't mean they're going to be winning Super Bowls, but they're going to be in that mix as long as Bill Belichick is coaching, which doesn't seem like it's going to be ending anytime soon.
For sure.
A couple other things. Bears, we can kind of skip over them really quick, but they they didn't play very well. The Cardinals were back. Mm-hmm. They had their bye week. You got a couple injuries. Kyler Murray hasn't played for a while. Kyler Murray's back. DeAndre Hopkins. They were on fire.
Yeah.
Cardinals right now, they're the team to beat.
That was kind of the big problem. Like, the Bears were finally starting to find their stride, and then we have to play the Cardinals when they get Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins back. I think that's the real problem. I mean, we didn't play all that well, but in my opinion, we didn't play horribly because we were pretty much playing against a team that is way superior to us. And, we didn't get completely blown out. We still put up a fight, not a very big one, but we tried. And honestly, I'm happy with that. I feel we could have done a little bit better, but, a bag's a bag.
Yeah, Andy Dalton, a lot of interceptions.
Yeah.
Justin Fields, I think, needs to be put back in there. I know he was injured. Hopefully he's good to go. The Bears, Sunday Night Football against the Packers this coming week. It's going to be a fun game. It's, an epic showdown. But once again, Bears probably going to be embarrassed on national television. Who knows? It's football, though. They could do anything and pull off a great win. Could be cool, could be fun. But I like the fact that Kyler Murray is back. You got DeAndre Hopkins. Their running game is doing well. Cardinals they're doing their push, and I think they are the team to beat right now. A lot of good stuff though. The Chargers, Justin Herbert doing well. Lions, we got to talk about the Lions. Now you're sitting there going like, Steven, why are you talking about the Lions? Like the Lions are like 0 in a million, right? They haven't won a game in who knows how long. The Lions, it's worthy of talking about because this is the NFL, and it's not how you think things would be or go. And the Lions won their first game of the season.
In Week 13.
They are 1. Well, I was going to say 1-12, but I think they're 1-11-1 because they tied a game.
Oh, yeah, against
this
the Steelers.
This is like the worst record possible. Like you haven't won a game, you tied a game, and then you finally get your win against the Vikings. It was a good, tough, hard divisional game, and they pulled it off.
Yeah, I was impressed with them. And I mean, how impressed can you be with the Lions? I don't know. I mean, they're 1-1-1-1, but it was good. I liked seeing them come back, and especially in a divisional game, that's kind of a really essential way to win. It
is. It's kind of satisfying if you're that team. You even be like, yeah, like we won our first game and it was a tough divisional game. But what I liked about it, and we didn't even really sit down and watch the entire thing because you're like, this is going to be horrible. Actually, at the beginning, the Lions were winning, and then the Vikings came back. But what I liked and what was fun was we got to see the end of it, and it was one of those, you either go big or go home. You either have to win it. I don't even remember, 15, 20 seconds left. I think theirs came down to that fourth down play where it was you had to win it into the end zone, touchdown, or you lose it. Jared Goff makes the play. They get the touchdown, win the game, no time left. It was a pretty epic, fun way to win a game.
For sure. And it was really cool because we get to see Jared Goff really just tap into what he's known to do because, honestly, he is a really good quarterback. Like, the Lions aren't the best team, and he's a pretty good quarterback. But when you combine them two, if one player is really good, but the rest of the players are not so good, the team isn't going to be very good. I mean, there are a couple exceptions, like Tom Brady when he went to the Buccaneers. But Tom Brady is the GOAT. He can transform any team. He could go to the Jets and they'd be a Super Bowl champion. But it was good to see Jared Goff really just unleash what he can do, and it was good to see that.
Agreed. What else you got for me?
Well, I thought we could talk about the Broncos and the Chiefs. I think this is one of the first Chiefs games where Patrick Mahomes has really stepped into what he really is, because he's 8-0 against the Broncos, but he also has 0 pass touchdowns and 1 interception for the third time this season. So, I mean, I don't really know what's going into Patrick Mahomes, because this was the first game when he looked like he was coming back, but he really wasn't. Like, he's still in his head, and he's still trying to do things and impressing everybody.
Yeah, I agree. I think Patrick Mahomes is still struggling. I think that the Chiefs have a very short window to get things all put together fast, because the playoffs are coming, end of the season is coming, and now, that being said, they are in the top of their division right now.
That's true.
So they're not out of it, and they know how to play this time of year. And I think that they're going to be making that push. Chargers, Raiders, Broncos, I mean, that whole division is kind of just up in the air, really, of who's going to make that final push. I'm not really seeing the Raiders, the Broncos. Not that they can't get a wild card. I can't see them winning the division. I think the Chargers can really take this division.
They could.
They're neck and neck, really, with the Chiefs. And I like the way that they've been playing. I think they can pull it off, which would be cool. Patriots right now are at the top in the AFC, which is just crazy once again, without even Tom Brady, which is just crazy. The Browns were actually doing really good this year, and then they started to fall. They're the last in their division right now. Bengals, Steelers, I think the Ravens are really going to take that and kind of go. The Titans have been playing well. We've been talking about it, but when you don't have your star running back, are they going to be able to play at that constant elite level the rest of the season going into the playoffs? I'm not sure. I think the Colts might take that and run with that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the Colts definitely have a big chance, because Carson Wentz has been really stepping into what he can do. Jonathan Taylor might be the next Derrick Henry. I mean, it is definitely a big possibility.
He's been nonstop, like crazy. All right, I want to talk about the NFC standings and some of the teams, but, Isaac, I think we should at least go around and let's get a little bit of scores. What happened? Some good games, some low-scoring games. Let's see what we got.
What's the score? Nothing. What's the score here?
What's the score? What's the score, Luke? What's the score?
Time for score in 60.
All right, so first off, we got the Cowboys and the Saints. Cowboys beat the Saints 27-17, a sad loss for the Saints. The Dolphins came on top of the Giants somehow, 20-9. The Colts had an absolute blowout towards the Texans, 31-0. The Lions with their first win against the Vikings, 29-27. The Eagles beat the Jets 33-18. The Cardinals, not surprisingly, beat the Bears 33-22. The Chargers with a big win against the Bengals 41-22. The Buccaneers, we all knew this was coming, beat the Falcons 32-17. The Rams in a big win against the Jaguars 37-7. The Washington football team somehow coming on top of the Raiders 17-15. The Steelers with a 1-point win against the Ravens 20-19. The Seahawks beat the 49ers 30-23. The Chiefs came on top of the Broncos 22-9. And the Patriots beat the Bills 14-10.
That Steelers game was pretty epic as well.
It was.
Just 1 point, they win it at the very last minute. I like you creating this new team, and maybe we need to do that because the Eagles haven't been doing very well. They're struggling, and then you got the Jets that are just pretty bad, and we just go with the G-Goals. I like it. Like let's just combine teams, and maybe they'll do better. Nah, I'm just messing with you, man. But nice job on that. Okay, so as far as the NFC goes, Cowboys, they're kind of at the top of their division right now.
That's true.
Who's really going to take it? It really could be anybody's. Washington really could make that push. I don't know. The Eagles, they're tied with Washington right now, but they're struggling a little bit. I think it's really going to be the Cowboys. Cardinals, Rams, 49ers, Seahawks. Can you believe the Seahawks? They've only won 4 games. That is just not what I was really expecting from the Seahawks. Russell Wilson did have the injury, which I know put a damper on things, but he has not been playing as good. I think that injury really is affecting his playing. He hopefully is able to come back stronger, with that. But the 49ers, Rams, it's kind of really anybody's division right now, but I think the Cardinals are just going to take that and run with it. I think the Rams are going to get that, wild card spot. Rams are doing really good. They got a powerhouse team. They're picking up all these guys, but then they lost like 3 games. They did pull off the win this last weekend. What's going to happen with them? We'll see. As far as Bears division, Vikings, Lions, Packers are taking that division. Packers are making it to the playoffs again. Lions, Bears, Vikings, we're all, the whole division just stinks. Like, we could just kind of move off from that.
I know.
And then you got the Saints, Falcons, Panthers, Buccaneers. Buccaneers are running wild. They're winning that hands down. And I don't even think any of those teams are going to even be making the playoffs, with the Saints, Falcons, and Panthers possibly getting a last wild card spot, but you got a big uphill battle to climb.
For sure.
The Saints, I don't know what's happening. I know Drew Brees leaves. You didn't expect them to be the same. They had injuries. They don't have their running backs. Taysom Hill played. We were all like, why is Taysom Hill not starting? We want Taysom Hill to start. He should have started on Thanksgiving. Taysom Hill starts, and Taysom Hill struggled. It was like 4 interceptions. He's getting hit like crazy, poor decisions. It was a bad game.
It was a very bad game, and it was kind of rough because it's a far cry from what the Saints really are. And it was good because it wasn't very good because they can do better. And Taysom Hill is kind of that wild card player who can play a bunch of different positions. And he's not the thing is, he's not really, he's like you said about Lamar Jackson, he's a good athlete, but he's not the best quarterback. He can throw the ball, but he's not the best. And that really goes to show how teams are really shifting this year. And it's going to be very exciting to see how teams are going to end up in the playoffs.
Well, and I think it is really getting into your own head. And we've talked with Patrick Mahomes, but I think those are really hard. You got to get over that mental aspect. So you have somebody like Taysom Hill who can play a tight end, who's played a little bit of running back. As a receiver, I would say he's more of a tight end, and he's capable of doing that, and he's done well with that. But then he can also throw the ball and do those wildcats. But now you threw him in as the starting quarterback, and not saying that he can't step into that, and I hope that he does. But it's a hard mentality to get over where you've been thrown in to do these plays throughout your career so far and do these epic things, and you can do variations, and you're a good athlete. And so then you're thrown into the starting quarterback position because the team is struggling, and there's kind of that mentality of like, I have to save everything. They're putting me in, and I have to play well, and I have to be elite, and you try too hard, you do too much, and that's what I felt like I was seeing from Taysom Hill, of him trying to do too much, trying to make the big epic play, where really, again, you watch Mac Jones on the Patriots side of things. He's doing fantastic, and there is some great throws and choices that he's making, but he's just managing the game well. He's sitting in his position well because he's being coached well. Mm-hmm. And some games he's not doing a whole lot. As we saw, 3 passes this last week, but he managed the game and he did his job and did it well. So sometimes you just got to kind of step back and play the way that you know that you can play, the way that you're being coached, the way that the game plan is, and not trying to make the big play, which I think is Patrick Mahomes' issue right now. And we've talked about that, is you have the last couple of years of him doing these epic plays, but that just happened naturally. And now he wants to make them happen.
For sure. And I think that really just goes to show how these players lately have really been stepping it up or letting it down. And it's going to be fun to see who makes the playoff run and which teams are going to make championships and which ones are going to make the Super Bowl. And it has been great talking with you guys. We will see you next week.